Okay,
Oh my God.
you can start now.
I started.
Oh, dang it. Okay, what we have here, if you look down, is the sauce is bubbling. You need to bubble it at least a minute. Adjust the heat. You do not want it bubbling on high. You want it to be around medium, and she's going to stir constantly. If you'll look at it, there was a sheen of fat that was on the top floating, the melted margarine and the oil. This will incorporate with the flour in the mixture, and it'll develop what we call a shine on the top, and then it will thicken. Now, we've only put 1 tablespoon of flour in this mixture. It's, really 1 tablespoon is supposed to go with 1 cup of milk. But I want to show you a new thickener. And that thickener, because flour is one, the other one is cornstarch. And cornstarch is used to thicken in the form of what we call a slurry. And a slurry is a mixture of a little cornstarch and a little water. All right, and how much is a little? It's around a tablespoon, 50-50. Tablespoon of cornstarch, tablespoon of water. We use this to fix what we call a broken sauce that was thick and then, for one reason or another broke, means it went back to being watery. Or if we get the cheese in here and still think it's not thick enough, we can add the slurry to make it even thicker. So here's the deal. Has it bubbled about a minute? Yeah. We're going to pretend it did. Now, Cheyenne has grated 1 cup of cheese, all right? And she's going to stir this in. We're going to turn that heat to way low, and she's going to dissolve that cheese. Now, I can guarantee a cup isn't quite enough, so we're going to back that up with little pieces of American cheese. And she's going to stir like a crazy person. Oh, thank you. And we have some additional cheddar, too, if we need it. Here's what's going to happen. Taste this sauce. Once it has cooled, you can't add more cheese. It'll turn into stringy, horrible guck. All right? So, you got to make sure you got the amount of cheese in this. Now, the cheese will also thicken the sauce. That's a fact. And I'm going to say Cheyenne is very smart. She just happened to have a little extra cheese here because she's brilliant. And so we're going to put that all together. Now, our next step will be tasting. Once the cheese has melted completely, and again, it's starting to thicken more and more, and she's stirring like a crazy person. If it starts, she wants to incorporate that cheese. And if she stirs quick, she's going to do that. We don't want high heat because, again, scorching is an issue. She's going to stir, 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 stir. Now, for the sake of the video, we're going to pretend that's all melted. Okay, she's going to pause for a minute, and I am going to scoop this up and taste it. And I'm going to tell you now, she probably needs to stir it a whole lot more. If she feels the need, she can switch to our whisk, which I have now rinsed off. If she feels that it's not doing what we want it to, because we got a little bit of a graininess to this, and it needs to cook a lot longer. Secondly, once we get this going, if we see it's not thick the way we want it to be, oh, she's good, we're going to add our slurry. Okay, and that just gets poured in, and that will contribute to the thickening. Now, one of the problems with a cornstarch water mixture is it'll work well for you the day you serve it. But what I tend to see happen with the cornstarch is if you took this and didn't use it all, put it in the fridge, the next day it would go back to being a broken sauce. So this is a good setup for what I call a culinary cheat, fixing something that's not working right. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to end our demonstration here. We have our white sauce. It would be served over our vegetables, and if we wanted to, with the leftover sauce, we could use this as the base for a soup. We would chop up the leftover cauliflower, possibly add a little extra liquid, heat it, and essentially, instead of cauliflower and cheese sauce, you got cauliflower cheesy soup. Thank you very much. We are done for today.